Hello there, Reckless JJ here. Yes, it's that time of the week again where we are going to be doing manufacturers, and we're going to be up against people who have similar manufacturers. Up against people who have got similar manufacturers, similar sort of goings on, and we're going to do it again, aren't we? We are here for Gran Turismo 7 Manufacturers series, and as you probably guessed already, I've joined Ferrari. We've got 10 minutes before the next one, but I really just need to find a quick couple of laps. We don't have that much time, you know. Quick couple of laps, and then we're good. We're never Gucci. Need to disable that for now because I can't really do too much with it. And stick this over here. Hopefully you can still see my socials. Made a quick couple of changes so you can actually see where the things are. So anyway, this is too far away from me. Anyway, this first race is going to be all about learning the car and seeing what can be done. Let's keep it. Back wants to step out on me. Got to learn the car, learn the track, and then go in at the 7. Might do daily races between them. Right, let's see what we can do with this. Almost lost the rear of the car there. This is not going to be a particularly fast lap though. This is meant to be my first one. I'm expecting a 50. Not bad, but not great. That wasn't a barrier collision and I've not lost 1.5. Not good. I was 4/10 up on that part, so I know time can be found. But I've got to try and get this sorted out. Get the fuel, change the oil. Won't necessarily, we don't need to rebuild the engine. because that was done recently. But yeah, definitely need to definitely need to change the oil. And I also got 12 million as well because I was in the top 65%, 68%. UK wise, even managed 8th in the country, which is nice. The unsurprising Baldy McNosehair was on top, though, but then again, not many people were doing that event. But we'll still take it all the same. It's my cocktail cabinet here. Air conditioned, of course, with mounting points for shot glasses. Okay, so only brake bias can be changed. I know I can actually go quicker than the 49.5 which I showed there. I know I can get like a 48 if I could just manage to get the braking points correct, which is entirely possible. I can definitely get there. I can definitely do that. Now, will it hurry up and load, please? .48 is definitely doable, but let's go. We're only going to get 2 laps if we're good. So long as they get across the line on 340. Nice. It's a good lap. Too tight, not going to too early on the brakes. It's going to be another 44, I think, somewhere along those lines. We're not going to be able to finish this lap. I'm surprised I didn't get a penalty for that. Alright, we move. I need to move this microphone again because it's too far away from what I need to, from where I need to be. Floor Genius is in here. Lovely to see. Excuse me. Get in there, thank you. Just had to move it in. You have bothered me, Juicy, on this one, I'm afraid. Yeah, bother me on this one, I'm afraid. So you're banned. Not showing me why that is. What's it doing? I can't imagine what the matter is. Okay. Alright, so we go again. This doesn't put me in good stead. I don't even know what number car I am either. But I better get out there. Nope. Hold on. 16. This man's also already here. So long as I get across with so long as I get across the line with about 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, I should be able to get 2 laps. That's going to cost me all the way down the straight. Yeah, that's going to cost me a bit, I think. Can't tell what my lap times are though, but I am going to be slower, I think. I think I'll probably be in the mid 49, low 49s, mid 48s. I think. High 48s. Right, okay. Up though. Cents faster, but puts me third. Nice. Good lap. Good lap. Did feel like I could go a little bit faster. I did have that huge slide in the middle of my lap, where it just went completely a bit out of control, but I was able to get that position. But yeah, good result. Thanks, James. And welcome again. What's the points? What's the points total? 323. So this is going to be a high room. Plan for today: use this as a learning race, and see if I can do a little bit better. So I can do well. If I'm satisfied with my points, I'll do days for the rest of the evening, and if I'm not, I'll do the 9 o'clock. That's how it goes. I think I'm the only Ferrari in the field. It's 10 laps here. Yeah, the only Ferrari in the field, and I managed to get third. Ferrari's later, but it's still a pain. I've got to struggle on the straights, I think. No mandatory pit stop. What's fuel? 1 on 1. Wall collision will be strict. Sad. Yeah, it's gonna be an issue. Maybe an issue. It is. I've driven that car. I did it in the last Manufacturers series and the one before that. I felt time for a change again because they buffed the Ferrari, taking 20 kilograms off it, gave it a bit more power. No, actually, all they did was they took 20 kilograms off it. So that combined with other nerfs makes it sort of viable again. Don't want to do this too tightly now. It's a rolling start as well, so. You didn't even. It's been out for a couple of years now. I'm actually the lowest car in the room. I'm car 16 in the room and put it to P3. Nice. And this car, I have referred to it as the Bucking Bronco. Because it's the prancing horse. Anyway, put it down 5. Anyway, no, let's have a look. Yeah, pure white will be fine. Also, there's another streamer in here, Flawed Genius. Who's on here? Yep, someone has. They do have a tendency to do that. Have similar liveries. Because there's a livery editor in this game where you can create your own livery and tribute. You can create your own livery basically. Anyway, let's drive. Just drive. Like the Sky Sports ad. Use this first up really just to see where everything is. Used to the car. Dirty app, make sure I don't get involved with dirty app. I get the reference. But this car is notoriously difficult to handle on brakes. Going to lose track of the cars in front of you if I'm not too careful. Whoop. Do you see what I mean by the Bucking Bronco? I almost spun the tap myself. Off the rear again. Ferrari needs to be at the front. I need a very very careful at this point. Yeah, I'm losing so much time down the straight. It's unbelievable. I lost half a second down the straight alone. You're not faster than me at this point. We're holding each other up now. Excuse me. Right, you two. See if you can catch up to that. See if you can catch up to that lead group now, since you've overtaken me. Go on, go on. I'd like to see you try. Do it. I'm sitting duck. And the worst part about it is that those two, ever since overtaken me, have not caught up. Race ruined. Okay, Weber doesn't get a penalty for that wall hit, and yeah, I got 2 wall hits for no... Well, all I did was just go a little bit wide, and I get 3 seconds worth of penalties. Race through. Not long enough, 3 seconds though. Let me see. Better out the corner. But I'm not gaining anything here because I will lose time as a result of restraints. When really, I should still be in second. He had a war penalty, similar to what I had. Sitting duck again on the straights. That's not good enough. not good enough. You need to be in control rather than out of control. Oh. Why did it take so long for me to get to that point though? That's the next question. Minus a 4, O would be 5th, and therefore... yeah. They didn't catch up at all. So, yeah. So, yeah. Fuel to fire. 4 seconds, I would have been right back up that group, and look what happened. Disappointed with that. Not at all happy. Yeah, they didn't catch up, so they overtook me. SGS was the only one who came close to me. That was purely because they were half a second quicker on me on a straight. On a straight. It's annoying. It'll be 200 odd points, but I'm not particularly pleased with that. Can I go down there, please? So Oh, no one can go faster. I know, because it's the PS4. It's not over PS5. PS5's a lot quicker. It's an older console. It's a lot quicker on the It's a lot quicker on PS5 because it's a newer hardware. But I haven't got one, and I'm trying to procure a means of getting it. Still doesn't handle the curves very well. It needs more. It needs either more power. It needs to lose a lot more weight and a better setup. That's the thing that happened to me in the race. I effectively was losing half a second of a lap on the pit straight because everybody else had slipstream. And I've been able to replicate it. That was all because I was trying to get out of third gear. I'm going to do this until about 5.2 and then I'm going to jump into the day race C at Monza. Preferably if I can actually brake in a straight line. that wall hit, I didn't get a penalty for it. Now, let's see what I can do on this part. Faster all of a sudden. Thing is, if I go out in second gear, I have too much wheel spin. If I go out in third gear, I have too much understeer. It's not a happy balance. Yeah, if I could just get ahead, if I could just lead the race, I'll be able to control the pace. And I can't change that part of the setup. It's too loose. They haven't fixed that part of the car. I can control it to some degree, but not an awful lot. I think I can brake later though. You get a 3-second penalty regardless. Sheesh. That's just... You get 3 seconds of time penalty for hitting the wall. So I just got to avoid that wall at all costs and make sure no one else hits it. That's just not fair. This is why I don't like the wall penalties in this game. It's too strict. Maybe I have to embrace the oversteer. Not that oversteer. There's a handling, I think there's a fundamental handling imbalance in the car. Throw the slap in the bin. lost 4 tenths because of that. Right. I don't know. You lose more penalty for spinning into it. It's just the wall detection and the fundamentals of the game. It's just flawed. That sort of wall penalty system would make sense if it was a street track. But this is a road track with some runoff, so it doesn't make sense to me to have it there. And I'm having to avoid the bollards on the right hand corner too, because if you hit a bollard, that's half a second time penalty, even if you stay for wheels within the white line. Yeah, clipping one will start is 3. Oh, 48 dead. Come on, at least give me a 47. Yep, this app has gone away. Fastest on my friend list and 213th. I'm over a second away from the next best, next place for one. This track does not promote good racing. In that category at their station. Looks tough, it is tough. Now, right, put your car back in. Selection. I'm going to do one daily race. Go again. Pagamento? Where's that from? Hit everything. No, you just cancelled it. What was the matter with money? Remove card. We haven't paid. We've been thwarted. Right, let's see how we get on here with the McLaren. There's no way I'm touching the Ferrari on this track. It's too slow. Monza, yeah. That's not our second. Absolutely, simple as speed. Much like my driving. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I remember that race. The car was a bit pushing it on the defensive side from what I remember. Indeed he was. Against the Merc. Against the Mercedes, definitely he was. $150, that's pretty shocking actually. Yeah, this is a no-go. Or not. Yeah, this is a no-go, I'm afraid. I'm not going in that one. Right. G30. Right, I'll be back in a minute. I need the loot. Alright, I'm back. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we can do this time round. Still got 42 minutes until the entry, so that means I'm gonna have to. Of course. Let's try and get a 47. I'm gonna need to experiment with the brake biases. Don't want to be going too far to the rear though, because it's rear. The rear's not very good. It was car 16 in that last race and ended up 8th. I really should have been in the top 3. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I wasn't risking going on Monza. It's too strict. One mistake. Bang. War. Penalty. Straight. Ugh. Ugh. That's strange. You know I did click the wall over the side there, but no penalty. seconds. For wall penalty, I lost speed a tenth and a half. That was just not right. Really? Time in that middle sector, who always has to be the middle part of the lap. I don't remember going down the first gear there. How many times? Possibly, yeah. Mind you, all the ground effect Mercedes have not been brilliant. Ironically, the first one they did is actually the best one, even though they detest it. In fact, I think they detest all of the ground effect cars. Only one team has got them right, and it's the only one who had any experience of ground effect. Next from the previous era. Because Red Bull have got a real asset in Adrian Newey, he's possibly the only one with enough experience to know how to make ground effect cars work. Scrap. Hey! Yeah, that's like the ultimate dream team, ultimately. Knew he had multiple dream teams in his career. He was picked up from Williams. He was picked up by Williams from LaRousse, I think, in the 90s, and that started off that line of dominance. Even though it took them a little bit of time just to get it right. '92 with Nigel, '93 with Prost, almost '94 with Damon, amazingly. Well, we don't talk about that year. '95 there was nowhere. Now in retrospect, Damon got a lot of flack for '95. Some of it deserved, but not all of it. Yes, Williams had the fastest car that year, but they didn't utilise it to its full potential. Oh, for goodness sake, try again. Not working with them, I think you... I think you mean not working with some drivers. Ferrari one of them, not really other. And do you know what caused this? The entire existence of this Newey timeline is because Williams were too stubborn not to give him a share of the business when they were at their peak. And they made too many decisions behind his back without his consultation, which was stated in his contract. So, in a way, you know, the Williams team of now, they are actually responsible for this whole timeline. Think about that for a second. It's in his autobiography as well, which I haven't read, but I heard bits of it. Believe me, if you hate Williams, you would have a field day when all the issues came up with him. Because if they gave him a share of the business, Newey would have stayed with Williams, and Williams would be the dominant team. I'm just saying that retrospectively, though, because we'll never know. The only real year I say they shouldn't have won would have been '95, because they did royally dropped the ball, both driver and team. They dropped the ball. Newey didn't drop it. It was a tactic. It was a tactic. The people on pit wall and the drivers who dropped it. DC gets a pass because it was his first full season, but Damon, on the other hand, doesn't exactly get it. Doesn't get a pass on this one. And I started watching it in '96. Yeah. And he was one of the moving parts in what ultimately turned out to be Nigel Mansell's title winning year. Because he did a lot of the donkey testing work. He knew how to set up the car, he knew how to work with the engineers, and he knew how to get the best out of that drive. He knew how to get the best out of the team. Was the first year as well. Yeah, well, okay, so we share something pretty similar then. Stop giving me a wall penalty, please. 7 for me. 96 for me would have been. I will be 7. Hazard, I guess, where I am. Yep, we are indeed. Still one of the oldest members in the Smash scene, amazingly. Well, that might change. Well, actually, I don't think that's going to change. Mine are still relatively there. Still doesn't like riding the curbs. Deep, well on the marbles for it. Yeah, the hierarchy of Williams left a lot to be desired in the 90s now, looking back at it retrospectively. Because it was Frank Williams, Patrick Head were co-owners of the team. With Williams having the majority. And then when the 90s came out, Andrew Newey, he was the lead designer and felt he was ready to take on the head of the car, the technical officer, which was Patrick, but he was denied. America. But I think their interest is dwindling a little bit because the Americans like to be entertained. They're not exactly going to be entertained with a certain driver or team combo dominating. interest will die off. And I think Drive to Survive is also not doing too well from what I last heard. It's just fabricated drama just for the sake of being drama. I don't watch it. It's not my viewing. I deserve that one. I just refuse to look back at 2021 in any capacity. And as soon as I mentioned 2021, oh, I blanked out. I'm not listening to you. I had that. Here's the thing. When I was at Terra, they mentioned it as well. One of the guys as well, who watches F1 as well, mentioned about it. And I don't like talking about it. Brazil was good though. That's the only good thing. Brazil was slow. That was my controversy. I still believe though Lewis got penalised at Silverstone because of the context rather than the actual incident. And I say that because shame we didn't get Arnie. We should have got Arnie on the Jeddah one. Or maybe even the truffle sugar thing, as much as I hate to admit it. That's a good something. When I say the context, he was penalised for the context rather than the incident. Because the incident itself was similar to signs of Grosjean at the same corner 3 years prior, yet no penalty was issued there, so it was just penalised purely because of championship context, nothing else. Hot take, I know, but you set president. You know what I'm on about. Okay, I get that. No. And if you want to see the Verstappen fan side, you can say the same thing on the Lewis Hamilton fans. It's a two-way thing. Verstappen fan base will say that the Lewis fans are toxic, and vice versa. There's no in between. Just shows how degenerate Twitter and OX can be at times. I stay out of it. Oh dear, I keep running into the wall. How much time do we have left? I need to also, it's about 30 minutes, but 15 minutes into it opens. 15 minutes into it opens, but I will need to change the fuel again. Change your oil beam. We're gonna have to go again. I do have a soft spot for all the Brits though. Purely because the Brits, all the Brits I've seen them race while I was growing up as well, so I had an interest in racing beforehand. And the Georges, the Alexes and the Landos, they were all racing at the time I was racing. Lewis, it can be, yeah. It's a very subjective matter. I don't find them annoying, but other people will do. Speaking about it, I'm speaking to my mother as well about how people's perception is subjective. Woody, it does look like him, to be fair. Shame he doesn't have the pull-up string when he makes a mistake or when he has to do a PowerPoint presentation. And the reason why George is in F1 now is because he took the initiative. Instead of waiting for Mercedes to find him a seat, he found it himself. So, I do have a good level of respect for George. He's just not quite experienced enough when it comes to out and out combating at the front, say like your Maxes and Charleses, your Leclercs and Verstappens. He's not quite there yet, but he will. Yeah. I felt for him too. He legitimately did everything right that weekend, only to be let down by circumstances beyond his control. I think I said it on my ex at the time. He did everything right, just outside influences prevented him from doing it. Still, I believe that Lewis should have really missed the Abu Dhabi race that year because he had just recovered from COVID. So there was nothing for him to gain from being there. He'd already wrapped up the title at that point. So there wasn't really anything to gain or anything, just like fitness levels, that was it. But that could have been done after, when they got back from the winter break. Maybe, but we'll never know. When I was around, the George Russells, Lando Norrises and Alex Albons, they were all starting their careers when I was doing my racing. It's been about a good 13 or so years since I last did racing for real. And yeah, I know it's not a well-known fact though, unless you're in the racing scenes. It's a little bit of a boast I can use from time to time. I wasn't around where Ollie Behrman was doing it though. Falling off the road. My last season was 2011. From what I remember, no, I'd rather not go down that line. Now, from what I remember, 2011 was my last full season. From what I remember, George was in KF3, Lando was in his last year of cadet, and Alex Albon was already in KF3. Or moving his way to KF2. Well, which up? Yeah, it must have been KF3 still. Lando moved up to Minimaxes after the Super 1 campaign had finished for the MSI. I was in Super 1 in the MSA series, but I was in the TKM Extreme class, which was only moved because the 4-strokes had insufficient entrance for it to be its own separate thing. Oh dearie me, I'm doing all that and I'm losing concentration. Makes me feel old though trying to say it. And other known fact, Ollie Behrman, when he was karting in KF, no, actually that's not right. KF was dead. KF was dead by that point. X30 was the next thing. He was racing for a team which I used to race for, which was KR Sport. And I was in that team in its infancy when it was in the TKM days before they switched to be fair, Rotax, as that was where the business lay. And then they went into the X30s when that came along. So they still do the Rotexes and the X30s, what I last heard. Lost touch with them for a good 10 years, but I still watching on them how their progress is once in a while. Still remember them. Hey, you remember your good times. Cherish them. And I say 2011 was my last season was because funds unfortunately just got too expensive. So that was the end of that, unfortunately. Which was sad in a way because I'd just done a series of nationals. Had an unfortunate technical throwout, so I got thrown out on an event on a technicality. It was a technical issue with the timing of the engine of sorts, which was a shame because it was at one of my better tracks. I think it was Glanigors in North Wales. I think it was only the second time I'd been there, and I was right up with the front group. And unfortunately, engine timing was out of tolerance. I keep messing up. It is expensive, yeah. For that sort of thing, from what I remember from those years, I think it was somewhere in the region of about £10,000, £10 to £12,000. I think it was spent. Most of it my money, and some of it others. So yeah, it is expensive. You've got to be in it for the long haul if you want to if you want to get to the pinnacle, like your F1s, your World Endurance Championships, you've got to be in it for the long haul. You've got to be committed from the start and just carry on going through that. And if you're at any point you feel like, nope, this is not for me, just say straight away, this is for me, and then just get out of there. You'll be doing yourself a big favour. I don't think my talent was that high. I'd like to say I was competent, but something at that point, yeah, it's just a temperament factor, which would have been a struggle. But in all honesty, I did say as a childhood, maybe I wanted to be, but as time grew on, I thought, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get there. It's not a time thing, it's just talent. Talent and temperament. temperament can be a bit nervy. You can be a bit nervy, so I might try and keep it clean where possible, but get the elbows out when needed to, which wasn't that often. But when you had to get the elbows out, you know why I've had to get the elbows out. And it was like at that period, God forbid you if I had to get my elbows out on you. Hypothetically, no. If I was a lap car, I would actually try and get myself in between them. If I was in Ricciardo's position, I would have just tried to get in between them, so they wouldn't be able to overtake. I don't know. Anyway, what time is it? 20 minutes, so 5 minutes until it opens. And I still have not got a 47 yet. You see, I'm quick over one lap. It's just I need to get the consistency. And I'm struggling a bit. It's my fault, really, because I picked a Ferrari. But I've got to work with what I've got. Anyway, let's change the oil. Yeah, the record is about a 46, but that's like the highest of high tiers. And I'm not there, and I am just a casual. Anyway, yeah, when the elbows came up, my last ever meeting, as it turned out, I did get the elbows out in one of the heats, and they knew about it. And then drivers knew about it. I was like, yeah, don't mess with me at this point. I think it was because somebody tried to cause a pile-up at the first start and then tried to blame me for it. I was like, no, not having it. And even the clerk of the course thought I did it. I was like, nope. I was like, no, I was pushed into it, and my teammate backed me up on it, saying that I wasn't responsible. Fortunately, I was able to carry on, get back on the grid for the restart, and then I went from about back of the grid to about 5th, I think, but I was still pretty peeved by that moment because it happened 2 years earlier, and the clerk would just not listen to me. I was like, oh, jeez. But as a person, well respected. As a person in that group, I was well respected. I could you could have a chat with anybody. I could have a chat with anybody. Say, not necessarily say everything I would like to say, but you can have a pleasant conversation, have a drink as well, and then we'll be happy and do it. While on the racetrack, we kept it separate because you're in a race, I'm in a race. We do what we need to do to race, and then we can chat and laugh about it, whether it's been a clean race and all that. Sometimes it can boil over. It will boil over. You will get people having a go at you. That's exactly how I treat Mario Kart. Yeah, with the friend group I have, we could just knock bells and whistles at each other and then have a laugh about it afterwards. Because we're that close. If it's other people, then no. We definitely won't be doing that. When it gets competitive, the lines between friendship and racing get blurred. And I've had it plenty of times where friendships have been broken because of what happens on track, depending on the context. Oh, that's another thing. In my last meeting, Naughty Dan Tictum. Hello, Oliver. I was about to say Dan Tictum. He was going back to my last ever meeting, which was 2011 at Wilton Mill, the last round of the Super 1 MSA Championship. Daniel Tictum, who you know in Formula E now, and decided it was a good idea to take his grievances on track and get banned for a couple of years. And then do crap in Japan, and then run his mouth off in GP2, as it was known then, before ending up in Formula E, where he still has a chance to run his mouth. Yeah, that guy. He got taken out in the final by one of his own teammates, of all things. And in the parfum, he was saying, thanks for costing me the championship. Ultimately, he didn't know, because of the way drop scores were. But the sentiment was the same. He felt that his teammate had cost him the title. Ultimately, it didn't. But in the moment, you don't think like that. And also, a bit of extra information, though, that driver did actually get thrown out of the results of that race. So he gained a position for it. But he should have really been in the top 5 and all that lot. I was like, you cheeky beep beep. Well, it's a B word, entity, you figure out the West. Yeah. It begins in B, ends in D, figure out the rest. So that's exactly what happened there. And I was like, that's not the way you do things. And that was to my teammate, who was actually the oldest one in the awning, who was the oldest member in the team. And I was somewhere in the middle. I think I was one of the younger ones at the time. I was 22 at the time. So that happened. Who won that? Yeah, Dan Tictum won the title that year. George Russell didn't win KF3 that year. And Alex Albon was somewhere in Europe, I think. Lando didn't win Coma Cadet. And then he went on to win Minimax the following year. Which is a class that George won the year prior to that, 2010. So, yeah, TKM was a funny old class. I think it's died out a little bit now, unfortunately. It's just the way the economy has evolved and the way karting classes have evolved. It's just a bit of a dying breed, unfortunately. It's one of the best classes. That's where a lot of drivers, and that's where a lot of the 90s and early noughties drivers, say like your Jensen Buttons, Anthony Davidsons, came from. Even Lewis dipped into it at some point in his career. Formula E driver Oliver Turvey, he also did a bit of TKM as well in the junior category. He won Junior Max as well 1 year. He also has a master's at a university. I can't remember which one. So there's so many drivers around in the UK who are currently in the top level motorsport that I've seen in karting and grown up. Well, not with them, but I've seen them how they progress from karting into top level motorsport, wherever that is in the world. Say like your X, your F1s and all that. And that's pieces of history for me. Karting Magazine was another one. I keep a lot of the stuff, though, which has like your Lewis's, your Alex's and your George's in there. And also other drivers too. Because it's relatable. It's a piece of history at the end of the day. It's so much nostalgia. So much nostalgia in all this when you think about it now for a minute. Dear me. You see, many people lead a complicated life. Complicated, yeah, good times. I cherish them, especially the last part where I was with Chaos Sports and when they were starting up with the TKMs and all that. Yeah, I cherish those years, absolutely. A funny old relationship with my mechanic Lewis, I think his name is. He's part of the engine side of it now, from what I gather. He was the funny guy, and I was the serious guy in our driver-mechanic relationship. You see, that's another thing as well, which you need to take into account. The relationship between team manager, your mechanic, and yourself. If those go in hand, things happen. Things happen that you don't normally expect to happen. Yeah. I think also a major part of why I stopped as well was budgetary, and also TKM had a big overhaul in regulations in 2010, which meant wider chassis, grippier tyres, same engine, just grippier tyres on a wider chassis, which made lap times go quicker, overtaking harder, but it also increased the respect level. You see, when that was that time, it was direct drive, so basically there was no clutch. You have to lift it up and push to start. But now TKM is full of tag engines, which is touch and go, a bit like how you do it in a modern car nowadays. It's the same principle. You just tap the button, and you're on your way. Yeah, I don't like that. Unfortunately, maybe it's just the old fart inside of me. Knowing better times, knowing better drivers, knowing the different respect levels. Yeah, absolutely. You're quite right. Old fashioned. Old fashioned, absolutely. That is big, me. And I'm a single thought as well for good measure, but I did come pretty close actually to. Well, the thing was, I've always been a single man as well. That's things when you're in that, so you don't really have time for girls and that sort of thing. Although you do get some women drivers sometimes in racing. You're getting on more now. You see, because of like Formula Academy, W Series, they've all got people as well, which is in there. Not so much Jamie Chadwick, but I don't really know her too well. What else was there? Let's have a think. Abby Pulling I've know about. Yeah, it's good Academy. Yeah, I thought Dorian Pin is the real deal. She is. And she's also doing the World Endurance Series too this year. She had to miss the opening round of Qatar though, I think, because it was on the same weekend as Bahrain, if I remember correctly. So anyway, Abby Pudding I saw a lot in TKM. She started out in that, well, she started in cadet, but made her name in the junior TKM class. Jessica Hawkins as well, which was W Series. She's now Aston Martin. And pretty damn good driver as well. She was in the Maxes and the KF3s from when I last saw her. Now she's progressed on to W Series. She's sort of done quite a lot of drifting. And she works heavily now with Aston Martin. So those are the females I've really been keeping an eye on. And I have actually briefly met her when I was marshalling for an event. I think it was Formula Car Stars, where she was in Junior Metal KF3, one of the two. She broke down on my post and just figured out what. Just wondering what to do, because you need to obey the instructions of the marshal, officials of the meeting, so you don't get into trouble. I did have a tendency to get into trouble, though, through racing incidents or not. I'm blabbering on a bit, aren't I? Anyway, as I was saying, you don't have much time for ladies. Well, some people did have a tendency to troll, brother. Drivers, the thing is, people will troll the drivers and their siblings. Especially if they're ladies. It can happen. Believe me, I know. Especially when you got especially when you got crushes on others. And it's friendly or that sort of thing. But believe me, I wasn't immune to it either. Believe me, I know. Surprisingly, I wasn't immune to it. What do you think I've been doing? You know, it's in that period where also you don't know what you're doing most of the time. You're at that point in your life and like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I thought, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? It's that sort of thing. Yeah, it was that sort of thing, because I was in college at the time trying to do some sort of accountancy course. I think it's AAT. Young and innocent. I don't think I was young. I was definitely young, but I was definitely not innocent. Depending on the context, of course. Anyway, it was like my first event with the new regulations for TKM. It was my local track at Wilton Mill, which is about 40 minutes away from where I live. And it still is my local track, and I've not been there for quite some time actually. But yeah, it was my first time with a new reg, so I'm basically being thrown in at the deep end. With the new chassis. I think I did a test day beforehand. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember that far back. And then Saturday was very wet. Only one session was dry, and I've absolutely no idea how to drive any new tyres in dry conditions. Everybody else had a month, at least. The dry meeting beforehand. And I got completely covered in mud. I got completely covered in mud because it was a good idea to drive into it. And the rest of the team, teammates should do a karting day with everyone with a GoPro. That sounds like a fun idea. Until somebody crashes when they don't know what they're doing. So anyway, as I was saying, there's also one of my junior teammates as well. He was in a relationship with another driver in the same class, which turned sour from what I gather. I wish. I don't think I'm that skillful now. Anyway, as I was saying, one of my junior teammates was in a relationship with another driver who was in the same class for early parts of 2010 and just got a little bit overcommitted with it, and then the relationship turned sour at some point. I don't remember when, but all I know was that the early part of the year. And then after that, she didn't exactly hit out with me because I didn't know how to replicate those feelings. Because you're young, you don't know what you're doing at this time. But the thing was, we did strike a bit of an interesting conversation. It was an opposite team thing, an opposite class thing. But I didn't seem to mind that too much. The next thing we know, we're friendly each other on Facebook, and then it just carried on from there. It just, yeah, you do. You get that sometimes. You get along with people so well, you get accustomed. The only thing was a distance. Yeah. Midlands here. Scotland up there. Me and Scotland seem to go hand in hand for some reason. Maybe that was why. Hold on a bit. That was the start of it. That's why it goes hand in hand, because it started off in that period. Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't gone red in the face for it. Anyway, we're going to do this race, and then we might do some dailies afterwards. Well, I definitely need to set a lap time before I do any more dailies. Saturday, I think it's the next round. Right, I've only got one lap. Let's go. Changed the oil. Had a bit of a chat. Try and keep myself cool, calm and composed, and then we go again. And I'm definitely not going to complete this lap, but we're going to see how quickly we can at least try and go. Or not. Gee, I definitely need a shave at some point. I need to keep it in 5th gear. Don't change gear. This car is definitely unbalanced. Yeah, we're not completing another lap here. Right, let's see what we get on here. Right, I want to see how good the room is as well. Oh, don't freeze on me. Good. Because the winner from the last race would have got about... Well, I don't remember. 324, I think, was for the winner last time round. Oh, wait, hold up a minute. There's a Rory in the room. I see ya. Oh, so here we are. Rory is in here as well. Good grief. What? How many people are we seeing in here? Which is, in here. But he's not online, is he? No. How is he in here? Honestly, who's in here? Honestly, who else is in here? And Vettel? Nah, it can't be. It can't be the real Seb Vettel. No. Room 4. No. Yeah, 3. 310. Step away from the bumper. It was a big idea. It was a big idea. Falcone? I definitely need to find some time. Is that the real Rory? Is that the real one? It's the real Seb. Here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's never driven a Renault. It was like, he's never driven a Renault, but he did have a Renault power car for the majority of his career. The only time he didn't was actually his very first race, where he had a BMW power plant. Because he was replacing Kubica, who had a roll and ended up with a pretty bad concussion. He had a sprained ankle and concussion. It was actually the concussion that ruled him out of the race. Yeah, back in 07. Yeah, I remember that all too well. Because when I saw the Kubica incident, I did my best Ronald Weasley impression. His iconic phrase. I did the Ronald Weasley iconic phrase in his voice. Well, impersonated anyway. Well, I tried to anyway. Lewis's first win, of course. Yeah, that as well. Where everybody lost the plot, aside from him, Nick Heidfeld and Alexander Wurz. The only 3 drivers who kept it sane. Everybody else lost the plot that day. And aside from the Robert Kubica one, who didn't lose the plot, he just got unfortunate. Right, let's go. Because from what I remember, Felipe and Fizzy both got DQ'd because they missed a pit lane red light. They went on the red light, which you're not allowed to do. It's been a disqualification. It's been a disqualifiable offence since the year 2000, I think. Jana Trulli, Austria, I believe it was. That was the first person who got DQ'd for leaving the pit lane under a red light. You're not allowed to leave the pit lane on a red light because you don't know whether the track's safe or it's open. If it's on a safety car, you've got to wait. It's not safe to let the cars out because of a safety car queue. That's why the red light is on. It's a safety rule. Yeah, like last year with Cota, both Lewis and Leclerc got excluded for undersized planks. That's an aerodynamic rule, and if you go lower to the ground, increases downforce. So you're breaking the regulations to gain more time. So that's why disqualification was the only option that day. But do you know who the first person was to get DQ'd for that rule? Michael Schumacher. Random inspector. Feasibly though, it's impossible to check every single car. The top 3 have to get checked, well, should be checked as mandatory, because you're the top 3. And then everything else is random after that. Max's was, for the record, Max's was checked and he cleared. Oh dear me. Someone's got a black screen. This is going to be faster than a 49. Nice. I've got to maintain it though, that's the thing. I've got to go faster than this because I know other guys will be trying to approve around me. I don't blame this driver though, because I've caught up to him and I didn't want to. I'm going to lose the lap time, aren't I? Still up, amazingly. Just a bit off, but I think it's still enough anyway. Nice lap. Well, what about everybody else? I'm going to be at least... Vessel didn't do a lap. Yeah, still there. The trouble was, I was just a little bit too slow. I caught flow right at the wrong moment, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to improve. But I was on for like a 1 or a dead, something along those lines. But I'll take the lap all the same. It's still good enough to be fastest, so we'll take it. We'll take the lap. Florida's literally just got in just behind me. Oh, not again. Oh, don't tell me! Someone's got a black screen. Someone needs to leave the room. Someone's in the room has got a black screen, which has caused it. It's not Seb. It's not Seb. It's the one who's running. It was that. It's the JQC. Is the one that's causing it, because I can see everything here. You see, everything still works on my front. No, it times out. Whenever the time runs out, when the time runs out, that's it. No, when your time goes out, you're allowed to finish your last lap, which is common rule, and then there's a timer on that for that lap to finish. So once that timer goes out, session's over. We've just got this one ridiculous individual who's got a black screen, doesn't want to quit out. Crying out loud. If you got a blank screen, you know you're in trouble. Yes. They've got to switch off the game. They've got to get out of the game. They've got to quit. Otherwise, everybody else is going to suffer. Which is not ideal for me, because I can only do 3 rounds this time. And it's to the count. I like to have 1 round as a safety round. I'm not quitting here at this point. Great. Took us long enough. Oh, it's the Seb Vettel that's gone. Oh. Alright, I've just put... Alright, so we are now either going to be... Okay, so we just got to shoot off on the front. Well, try anyway. We're either going to get eaten by McLarens or snakes. I don't know which one it's going to be. But we've got to avoid being eaten. It's a bit like Pac-Man. Waka, 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 waka. Except I don't want to be eaten by Pac-Man. That's exactly what this race is going to be. Don't get eaten. Right, we go. I think also cold tyres, perhaps. Because you saw how in my last 2 laps I went into the 48s where I hadn't done so once in that whole race. Okay, that's a start. We're getting the loading screen. I think I'm car 10 in this one. No, car 4 even, sorry. This room's not as high scoring as the other one. But I did a 3, which was 3 times quicker. But now I've just got to get the pace. I've got to keep the pace. The Finn. Then Roy. I don't even know if it is him or not. It is him. But why is he on this time? I'm not actually streaming. Oh, I think I know why, actually. Lovely Aston. Shame it's still not good enough. Flow GT. Yeah, don't blame him for dropping on my last lap. Because they're on their lap 2. And Crusade, who didn't get a lap time in. Now time to get eaten by snakes. Snakes and mercs. Let's avoid getting eaten. Let's avoid getting eaten, shall we? That means I've got to shoot off into the distance and boom, boom. Hey, put it away! Put it away! I don't want to know about you people loving each other. This is a race. No, no stops. Let's just drive. Just drive. Thank you. So I need. I need to get at least. Gotta use the Ferrari's ability to get out of corners and use it to its full potential. Too early, mate. Not too early. Okay? Do not turn in too early. I have to, because I'm in a Ferrari, which is so on a straight. I need to. Why am I full genius? 3.7. I need to keep an eye on. No, I'm the only one in this room who is. That corner is so deceptive. Others are struggling more than most in that corner. By the look of it. I lose about 4/10 on the straight, so I have to be careful. Good corner. Hopefully I didn't touch the inside. No, that was pretty perfect actually. That was perfect. Nice. Let's keep it going. 48. Let's not spin. Let's not try and spin. I did say this car is a bit of a Bronco. Whoop. Whoops. Careful. Mind you, the German lost more time. That's it, keep going. This race is just... Let's not overdo it though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Still quick. There. Safety there. Oh, he's gone. That's unusual. I have to find out what happened. I have to find out what happened to him. Okay, so the gap is going down on this lap. Alright, losing a little bit of time on this lap. Yeah, I'm losing time on this lap. The Ferrari's starting to go a bit iffy on the tyre front. Yes, I've got the gap, but I've got to maintain it. Right, 4 sets off on that lap. Need to wake up a bit. Don't exit in third. Something along those lines. No, just keep the brake bias as it is. Seems like there was a lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaos going on behind for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't need to do anything silly here. I just need to get it across the line. Probably were. Oh, it's that's the end of the race already. Got the reference right away. Well done. Hey, got that one. Hey. What's that little Miss Madam? The cat madam. Is all the way on there. Yeah. Did what I had to do. Kept it clean. Kept it composed. Just shot off into the distance. Staying out of trouble. Job's a good one. You see, this is what happens when I'm in a Ferrari and I don't actually get held up. I don't get held up. Calm and composed, yeah, absolutely. Where everybody else lost their heads. Floor Genius held the pack up a bit. I just shot off. I was able to get my tyres up to temperature pretty quickly. Just shot off into the distance and that's it. And I got it with the Ferrari. Luigi and he followed the Ferraris. Grazie, I can't pronounce it. Anyway, 310. Yep, 310 points on the board. Fantastic. Where are they? Excellent. Happy with that. Thanks very much. And it seems like everybody else is having a right old moment. Again. Anyway, I needed to just have a quick look and see what on earth happened to a few of the riders. Because I know anybody who didn't finish now is going to score no points. So, Eeriness in this case, Roy, is not going to score anything. It only takes the result of your final race. Oh dear me. Anyway, they're just going to carry on with their chat argument. I'm not getting involved because there's no need to. And I got a cat. Any idea? What's this? Yeah, they're beefing. Hey, when are you not beef? Who was I? Beefy, beefy, beefy. Nah, I can't do that. That's just rude. Hey, any sort of online game, you're gonna get beefing in the chat. Hey, I had my beef with the wall earlier, but this time, no beef. And this is what happens when you're able to do your own race. Yep, and it saved it. Great. I didn't save the first replay. Yeah, it's floor genius in the W15 livered car. Makes sense because it's a Mercedes car. I was employing the method of slowing fast out because I know the Ferrari's strength is in the corner exit. So I was just applying that strength. So I needed to, because I'm never going to overtake anybody because of the slow top speed at Scottsdale, which is still a shame. So I had to utilise what the strengths of the car were. In this case, the aforementioned, it's good on corner exit. It's brilliant on corner exit. It's much better now, but it's still slow. Anyway, I'm just getting rid of a notification part. The only problem was that I didn't have it in this mode. I pressed the wrong button as well, which didn't help. Unfortunate. Alas. I actually have a GT7 mode. This is the GT7 mode, but I had it all on here, so you couldn't... No, not that one. I had it on here, so you couldn't see all my brake biases and all that, which is a bit of a shame. Let's have a look and see how we got on at this point. Definitely a few things happened in that race. We definitely know that Stevie has an issue. There's Garcia, there's Cruz. Oh, too much power. Too much power on the exit, game over. Well, that's unfortunate. What happened with... Oh, I've always noticed. Yeah, lap 7. So let's have a look what happened with him. Okay, so he's got the move done on the BMW, that's fine. That's not an issue, that's fine. And then dropped it. And with the 1.5 second time penalty. Okay, so now we see what happened. So he just dropped it on his own, which is unfortunate. And then behind floor. And then... Where did the other penalty come from? That's what... Oh. That's just a double whammy. That car's not particularly quick. Citroen's not particularly quick. See, I learnt from the last race where I was a bit too far behind, couldn't overtake. I just got overtaken by people who were quicker than me on the straights. Full Juniors down in 13. Marconi also had damage. Don't know what happened and how they got damage. Yeah, they were only just slower than my fastest lap. And that was mine was in clear air, so was his. So was the Germans. But then they all get themselves a bit between the BMW and the Aston somewhere at that point. It's kind of got to quarter to 10, so I'll probably go for another hour or something with these races. But still, it was a good race. It was some good driving there. I liked it. And I got 310 points for it as well. And I was almost, despite not being able to find the room, almost losing the room even. What the difference is here is that I was able to get onto power earlier. .54. I lost about 4 miles an hour on the straight in McLaren. Evens with the Porsche. Evens are thereabouts. Can't really tell about that one. Now, what happened to M Silver? I've seen worse than that and get no damage. Rip me. We're both looking back at the replay, so. I need to chat around the back as well. it's got rear damage, so that's not going to be suffering too much. Oh. And Floor Genius has still got the front damage. Yeah, you see how much damage suffers in this one. You lost about 3 seconds on that. Huh? Well, Sherry did actually pit to fix that damage, but still so far behind. And because it's such a short race, you might as well just carry on. Unless you've got engine damage, which you then need to pit. You have to pit if it's engine damage. It was almost like boxing gloves at dawn. That's it. It was almost like boxing as well in the other part of the race. Let's get some extra shoes on. Yeah, the German got the fastest lap on the last lap, so I don't have any complaints about that. Might have to get the pictures later, but I'm savouring that moment. 3:10, which is nice. 10 minutes until the next daily race. It's reached 5. Buffeting, I got 80. 90. I wonder if the points will be updated at this stage. Right, okay, so let's have a look and see what my points are like. Points ranking, have we updated it yet? No, not yet, so we won't know until a little bit later on about that. About the points gap. What points we got. Okay, so let's have a look, and let's see how what are lap times for... Everybody's been using McLarens or Mercedes in this one. Ew, I'm not really a biggest fan of this one anyway. Not to be honest anyway. Nah. I don't know. But I want to try and get some laps in now, so... I want to try and get some laps in now. This is a 2-stopper, so... 1 stop even, sorry. So you have to use medium and soft tyres in this race. Doesn't matter which order, but you've got to use both of them. Better get some practice in because I have not driven I better get some practice in because I have not driven the Ferrari on this track. So you best get some practice in. I just need to check something. Be right back. Okay, I just had a quick look. We're back now. Just had to double check on something. Anyway, let's do some laps. I need to experiment on this one. This is for Saturday. Whoa. The bear immediately wants to step out on me. I think I could break actually a bit later there. I've always driven this truck with the Merc, the AMG, the 16 model, but I've never driven it with the Ferrari, so I need to just learn this track. Yeah, 26 steps for my very first lap around this track. I want to see if I can actually gain speed by... Okay, so you're getting a bit of speed. I think with a hairpin I can do it a later turn. I'm not sure what I got the penalty for. I think it was... Right, let's try again. Jesus, I lost a lot of time there. Yeah, I was still faster. What an interesting viewpoint that was. Still faster. I don't like that corner at the best of times. Sheesh. It's going to be even more difficult with this car because it has a tendency to lose control. I've still got work to find on this one. This track might not be so good for me on this one, but we just have to try and find a lap time. Mid 3, so 25.3. I did lose time in this section as well. That's an overshoot! Should be in the 24s now. We're finding time pretty quickly. Despite the overshoot on the end. No, surprisingly, I was actually slower. definitely need to find more time. Okay, so 25, 25, 25, 24, 25, 24, 9 is my best so far. Whoa, okay. This might still be in the movement. It is one, okay. We're looking good so far. It's going to be a corner control here, am I right? Okay, so let's just keep going, shall we? Yeah, didn't get that nice. Yeah, I didn't get it straight when I put the throttle down. I needed to, you really need to make a V shape in that corner so that you can get it as straight as possible. Oh, up! Oh. Okay, that's good to know. I don't get a penalty for crashing, but the penalty in itself is heavy damage. That's penalty enough, if you ask me. So a 7 is doable on my best splits. And that's after, what, about 10, 15 minutes of practice? Heaven knows what. 20th. So, it's really just the Japanese lot so far, really, up there. Top Ferrari, a 7 will put me 16. So not that much difference, but it will make a big difference later on in the week. But I seem to be on the pace pretty much straight away on this one. Gotta work out, however, how I'm gonna tackle it on the medium tyre, because this is a 2 race thing. I need to work out how many laps you can do on the mediums, especially with the Ferrari, with it being heavy on its tyre wear at the rear. Yeah, I think that's still relatively good, though. No daily races for me tonight. Unfortunately, to be honest, I'm not feeling the dailies this week, so I'm not going to be able to, so I'm not going to do them. Yeah, so. Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be a no-go. It's going to be a no-go on the dailies. I'm pretty much finished for what I need to do today, so I'm going to leave you there and enjoy, take the rest of the night off, because I have been feeling it a little bit today, and today has just been a bit draining on the non-stream side of it, and then just going on to this. It can drain you from time to time. Actually, one last check before I do. I do want to check if the points table has been updated. Yeah, we won't know until much later on our phone. I'll check online for it. So, yeah, it'll be alright. It'll be alright for that. So, yeah, that's it for me for the stream tonight. Thanks everybody who did tune in. Right, up we go. Where's my camera? Oh, there it is. There you are. And I'm just gonna take the chair over here. Take the chair over here. Put the microphone somewhere over there. Somewhere over here. Yeah, somewhere over here. Somewhere over there. There we go. That's much better. Thanks everybody who did tune in tonight. Hope you all had a good time. Hi, I hope you all had a good time. Hope you all had a respectful time. If you'd like to follow me in a lot of places, I am here. You can check out my socials. And you can also check out my YouTube as well, which the majority of the footage will be shown. And also, I've got footage as well from the... I'll get a name for me in a minute. Of the manufacturers. No, not manufacturers, the nations. What am I talking about? It's the nations I've got to put my highlights on. So yeah, I'm back again tomorrow, 7:45 for episode 99, which includes the Thursday night leagues. And then Friday, we go to the kart. And then Saturday's a two-parter where I'll be doing the Manufacturers Elite Forest, followed by the Crack, or whichever, the Crack Cup of episode 99 later on in the day. Also next week is a special edition of the Galactic Cup. It was also on my X or my Twitters, whichever one you want to call it. I need to get this thing out of my hair because I've done it too tightly. Yeah, I've just started to get used to wearing a bit of a ponytail in my hair, but I have still got to figure out how to do it properly. Still got to figure out how to do it properly. But there we go. That's much better. Right. Okay, so we're good. Thanks everybody for tuning in. See you all again tomorrow. See you all again tomorrow, 7:45.